Hello everyone, and boy wasn't that close on Sunday night. Welcome to my brand new series, This Week in Scottish Football. After a very bizarre June in which Scotland actually took part in something, let's see what happened over the last 7 days. On Monday, Motherwell spent a large sum of money on new signing Liam Kelly, who's to wear the number 1 shirt for this campaign. Kelly was on loan from his parent club Queen's Park Rangers for the second half of last season, keeping 7 clean sheets in 21 league matches, helping the club to a Scottish Cup quarter-final as well. The reported fee is £336,000, with add-ons that could rise up to £500,000. I honestly can't remember the last time Motherwell spent that much money on a player. Like, it might be... Is it Stevie Hamill from Southend? I honestly can't remember, because I know when we buy players, it's usually in the 5 figures, and then we try and sell them on for a profit. But I'm sure that Liam Kelly at one stage will become Scotland's number 1 goalkeeper. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be during the time that Motherwell have him, because it will only mean good things for the club. And here's hope. Sorry, I'm trying to stay a bit neutral, but I mean, I had to have this as the main thing that's happened on Monday. Tuesday saw the route to the final of the Challenge Cup, now named the SPFL Trust Trophy, being drawn. The competition previously having sponsors such as Tunnocks, Iron Brew and Ramsden's being restructured yet again due to constraints of fixtures, including clubs outside of Scotland over the last couple of years. You know how we used to like to throw in the odd English team or Welsh team or Republic of Ireland team. This season, however, colt teams from the Premiership will still be entered into the competition, battling it out with 30 clubs across the SPFL lower leagues, as well as 4 teams each from the Highland and Lowland leagues. They've really streamlined it this year. In a way, I actually prefer that. I mean, if they were to do a Great Britain Cup, I'd be all for it. I mean, I'd love an away day to Plymouth Argyle on a Tuesday night. However, if it's going to be Scottish centric, then I think they have to keep it to the roots, and I actually do prefer them opening the competition up to the Highland and Lowland League sides as well. I mean, I actually had an idea of, like, because they were changing a wee bit of the Premier Sports Cup this year, I was actually hoping they would open up more to the Highland and Lowland League sides as well. But then again, that's asking the professional players to play a couple more games, if anything. The more football that is played, the better for me. Now, nothing much happened on Wednesday, in my opinion, to really cover, because I just want to cover the football stuff. Like anything that is controversial around certain footballers. A lot of people may be aware of what I'm referring to, but I'm not really going to talk about anything like that, because this is a football channel and I want to keep everything football centric, because I don't want to be too controversial. But Motherwell fans raised £60,000 for fellow fans who are not really in the right situation to go and buy a season ticket, or can't afford it, or are unemployed, and the club matched however much that was, which was £60,000 each effectively. So Motherwell Football Club as a whole has raised £120,000 to go towards tickets for fans who are not really in a fortunate enough position to go and regularly go and see the club play, which is absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, I really should be wearing a Motherwell shirt because of how much I'm talking about Motherwell at the moment, but I just feel blessed to be a part of that club, like, just as a supporter. It's absolutely superb what Motherwell has done, and what they continue to do. Motherwell be a community club, and they pride themselves on that. And like, I feel like my club, Motherwell, for as unsuccessful as we are on the pitch, off the pitch, we are absolutely sublime. Yeah, I just wanted to come across and say that. Adding to the Motherwell news, Trevor Carson also signed for Dundee United after Liam Kelly decided to go to Motherwell instead of Dundee United. So I think there might have been a sort of switch deal for that. In that case, I mean, Liam Kelly was being touted for Dundee United up until like a couple of days before he officially signed for Motherwell for the fee that I mentioned earlier. I don't know what's happening with Dundee United. This is worrying. I mean, Motherwell are not really known for big spending, and Dundee United have lost out on that. So it's going to be a strange season, I think, for Dundee United. It'll be very intriguing for the next couple of weeks anyway. See how they do in the Premier Sports Cup, and then we'll see how they fare for the season, because this could be a make or break season for them. On Friday, Aberdeen applied for 8,200 fans to attend the opening game of the season, which would be Aberdeen versus Dundee United, of course, being the new firm derby, as it's known for, because of course they are playing BK Häcken on the 22nd of July in the European Conference League, so it would make sense for them to try and basically get as many fans in as possible. And I mean, if it was my club, Motherwell, I'd be begging for the same. So I mean, I really hope Aberdeen get this, seeing as how many fans they had at Murrayfield for the rugby. Also, I feel the proportion of like capacity is very wrong indeed. For example, Motherwell are going to be getting 2,000 tickets for each home game against Queen of the South and Annan Athletic in the Premier Sports Cup. I've put in for the ballot for that, so hopefully I'll get to one of the two games. Whereas Celtic have been given permission for 2,000 fans to attend their pre-season friendly against Preston North End on Saturday the 17th of July as well. That is, I mean, for me that is absolutely bonkers. Why can't you let in 10,000 into Celtic against Preston North End? I mean, Celtic is what, a 60,000 capacity. That's a sixth of the ground. You'd be able to socially distance very, very easily indeed. Considering at Hampden for the Euros, you had what, 12,000 in a 50-odd thousand seater. I mean, it really does boggle the mind that, well, if it doesn't suit the government, then they're not interested, basically, because the government's going to get more money from the Euros than they are going to get from Celtic against Preston North End in a friendly. Also, Rangers have announced a friendly against Real Madrid, which means that Los Blancos will be heading to Ibrox on Sunday the 25th of July. It's not just intriguing information for Rangers fans, but I'm quite interested in that as well. I mean, I'd like to see how maybe a competitive match between Rangers and Real Madrid would pan out, because of course Rangers being so dominant in Scottish football last season, playing against one of the notorious best sides ever. I mean, Real Madrid have taken a wee decline over the last season or so, but I mean, Real Madrid is still Real Madrid. It's still a massive club, and the fact that they are coming to Scotland to play against a Scottish club, that is something worth seeing. And I am definitely going to be focusing some of my attention on that. And now comes the part that you're all waiting for. We're going to have a wee look at the Premier Sports Cup results from the weekend, and then we're going to have a wee look forward to the fixtures, which are going to be taking place on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we'll have a roundup show on Thursday or Friday, and you get the gist of it. This is how we're going to do things on the channel this season. The Betfred Cup has provided some fantastic entertainment since the SPFL rebranded the Scottish League Cup from a straight knockout tournament to a group stage and knockout in the 2015-16 season. Reintroducing the group stage to summer football was refreshing, meaning that fans of all clubs could witness a different type of tournament that hadn't happened for a while in Scotland. Instead of only being guaranteed one game in the competition, there's at least 4 days out for us to enjoy.
Queen of the South 0, Motherwell 3.
Well, us small teams, anyway. Now, after changing sponsorship, the Premier Sports Cup is back with even less margin for error than ever before. For the first time since the summer group stages were installed back in 2015, 11 teams out of 40 will advance and join Rangers, Celtic, St Johnstone, Hibs and Aberdeen in the second round. This is down to the fact Scotland will have 5 representatives in European competition. Last season's Scottish Premiership winners Rangers are joined by the runners-up Celtic in the Champions League qualifiers. Elsewhere, St Johnstone's domestic double helped them earn a Europa League place. With the debut instalment of UEFA's brand new tertiary tournament, Hibernian and Aberdeen, who finished 3rd and 4th in the Premiership respectively, are the first Scottish teams to set foot into the unknown and battle it out against more of the so-called weaker teams in Europe. To add to a list of many firsts, a second Lowland League side, East Kilbride, will be taking the 40th spot in the group stage. On Friday night, both away victories for Dundee United at Kelty Hearts and Hamilton Accies at Edinburgh City saw both away sides get their season off to a flyer. On Saturday the 10th of July, Stirling Albion took a surprise victory at Cove Rangers and Heart of Midlothian strolled to a 2-0 win away at Balmoor Stadium against Peterhead. Group B saw Arbroath making the 100-mile trip worthwhile to Elgin in a 1-0 victory there. In Group C, Forfar Athletic and Ross County got postponed, with Forfar being awarded the 3-0 victory due to the COVID pandemic at Ross County. And Montrose ran out 3-0 winners at Links Park against Brora Rangers. In Group D, 37 places separated Brecon City and Livingston last season, whereas on the day, only a 3-goal margin for the winning side, taking the points back to Almonvale. And in the Fife Derby, Cowdenbeath 0, Wraith Rovers won with a Lewis Vaughan goal in the first half. In Group E, Albion Rovers held Ayr United to a famous draw after the last time they played each other. Ayr United won 5-2 in the same competition at Clifton Hill. Albion Rovers won the game on penalties 4-2, taking home the bonus point. In Group F, Ayrgionians scored in the last minute to save a point against Annan Athletic to keep their hopes alive of making the next round, but Annan Athletic took home the bonus point after winning 5-4 on penalties, scoring every penalty they took. In the other match of the group, the Battle of the Queens saw the away side yet again taking the spoils in a 1-0 win for Queen's Park, which means that every result between the two sides since 2000 has resulted in an away victory. In Group G, Kilmarnock won 2-0 away at East Kilbride as they start their road to redemption back to the Premiership this season, and Stranraer against Greenock Morton was called off due to another COVID outbreak in Greenock. And finally in Group H, Dumbarton and St Mirren was called off due to a COVID outbreak, and Partick Thistle, who took the lead early on against Dunfermline, were then pegged back and lost 4-2 at home to the Pars. And now looking ahead to match day 2, we've got a couple of potential banana skin ties in Wraith Rovers versus Brecon City or Heart of Midlothian against Cove Rangers. We've also got a couple of mouth-watering ties in St Mirren and Dunfermline, and of course a derby between Annan Athletic and Queen of the South. And on Wednesday the 14th of July, the big one is Queen's Park versus Motherwell, the one we've all been waiting for, Motherwell's first competitive match of the season. I hope you guys enjoyed this new sort of format of content that I'm trying to coin up. If you want to see any different type of content, then let me know in the comments. Please leave a like down below if you want more of this snazzy content. Subscribe if you're new. I'm goggsysaan89. I bet wish you were. See you later guys. Take care.